A man named William Afton moved from England to a town called Hurricane with his wife Clara Afton and their 3 kids, Michael, Elizabeth and Evan. In this town, he meets a man called Henry, who also has a daughter. Her name is Charlie. Over time, Henry and William became friends. Over time, they produced a business idea to open a family diner that was kind of like Chuck E. Cheese. This diner was best known for their cake and pizza. However, the main attraction of this family diner were 2 animatronic suits that could be worn by employees, or they could be put into animatronic mode when they were not being worn. Henry wore the Freddy suit, and William wore the Bonnie suit. Not long after opening, the business was booming for Freddy's family diner. Business was going so well that the pair decided to open a second diner called Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, where Henry created 4 new animatronics called Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, and the star of the show, Freddy. What Henry does not know about William is that he's crazy. He's a borderline psychopath. For this reason, it's rumoured that Henry's created a 5th animatronic called the Puppet to protect his daughter from William. One day, in the pizzeria, Henry's daughter was locked outside whilst a birthday party was going on. However, the puppet couldn't protect Charlie as it was stuck inside of a magic music box inside of the pizzeria. William Afton pulled into the pizzeria's driveway, murdering Henry's daughter, dragging her body into a nearby alleyway and leaving her there. The puppet finally escaped the box after some time, and it found Charlie's body in the alleyway. The puppet decides to lay on Charlie's body, but it breaks due to it raining. Charlie's spirit then fuses with the puppet to make the puppet possessed. Fast forward a little bit to Evan's birthday party. Michael is constantly teasing Evan around the house as he fears the animatronics inside the pizzeria. Michael and his friends decide to put Evan near the mouth of an animatronic version of Freddy to give him a, quote, big kiss. Due to Evan's crying, the spring locks in the Freddy suit failed because of the moisture coming down from the tears, causing the Freddy suit to bite down on Evan, killing him, thus marking
the bite of 87!
Over time, William then lured 5 different children into the safe room of the pizzeria while dressed up as the spring Bonnie suit, to which he then killed them one by one. But where did William hide these bodies? Well, when Afton designed the 4 new suits, he made a compartment specifically designed to fit children inside of these suits. Due to this, no one was able to find the missing children's bodies, not even the police. There were 5 children that William killed, but there were only 4 suits. So where did the last child go? The last child was stuffed into the out-of-service Golden Fredbear costume. So now there are 6 children that have their souls stuck inside of each of the Fazbear suits. Shortly after, William Afton got fired from his own company due to his murders. The restaurant had to shut down because of the murders and the controversy surrounding them. However, William did not stop there. After the closure of the original location, Afton created a new Fazbear location specifically designed with the intent to murder children. This location was known as Circus Baby's Pizza World. But why did Afton do this? Well, when he killed the 6 children, he discovered that there was a way to become immortal. This was done by using something called remnant. When the kids died in the suits, they released this material called remnant, which bonds your soul onto something. This is basically how the missing children were able to possess animatronic suits that they were stuffed inside of. Afton used this to his advantage to create an animatronic called Circus Baby that was able to lure children in with games and then eventually crush them inside of her stomach hatch. So, what we know so far is that William's youngest son is dead, and Michael is off doing his own thing, as far as we know. Anyway, Elizabeth, who is Afton's daughter, is at Baby's Pizza World at a private party, unveiling the new location. Elizabeth gets a little too close to Circus Baby, however, and essentially gets folded like a garden chair. Due to this incident, Circus Baby's Pizza World needs to be shut down on the same day they opened, but they said it was something to do with gas leaks or something, not for the real reason it was shut down. Despite this, William kept the animatronics available for rental so that he could send his son Michael to the location to free the soul of Elizabeth, who was now trapped inside of Circus Baby. Michael survived the first 3 nights at Circus Baby's quite well, until the 4th night, where the technicians on shift were instructed to scoop the shelves of the animatronics and take the salvageable endoskeletons. This scooping machine also contains some remnant. I wonder why. Soon enough, all of the animatronics got scooped, but they all eventually combined parts of each of their endoskeletons into some sort of mega endoskeleton called Ennard. On the 5th and final night, Michael ends up finding himself inside of the scooping machine, and it turns out that Baby's true intentions were to scoop the insides out of Michael to make some room for Ennard to live. The remnant keeps Michael's soul alive, all while Ennard is living alongside Michael in the same body. Ennard then uses Michael's body to escape the complex. Michael's body slowly ends up deteriorating due to him being a literal walking corpse. A few days later, Ennard ends up jumping out of Michael's body and escapes into a nearby sewer system. Once Ennard has left his body, Michael somehow comes back to life. His new goal is to find his dad, William Afton. And then we fast forward a few months. Michael can't find his father anywhere despite his searching. All while Michael is searching for William decides to go back to the original location to dismantle the old animatronics for remnant. William essentially ends up snapping the animatronics like Lego bricks. Little does William know, He's just awoken the spirits of the missing children, and they are angry. The spirits end up cornering William in the safe room where he first killed them. Kind of ironic. However, in this room lies the very suit that William was wearing when he first killed all the animatronics. To try and scare them, or whatever he was trying to do, William puts on the suit and laughs mockingly at all of the children. Everything was fine until the spring locks on the suit got a bit too loose, ended up crushing William to death, causing a very ironic death on his part. William's corpse laid there for a very long time, until some idiots decided to reopen the original location as a horror attraction. When they open this horror attraction, William somehow comes back to life and then stalks the new location for a week. I say a week, as after the first week of the attraction being open, the building was then set on fire. The reason for this fire was unknown, but all you need to know is that William, aka Springtrap, is still alive, despite being stuck in the fire. Michael is rumoured to have started this fire, but that was never confirmed, but this lines up with his plan to kill his dad. William didn't escape without heavy damage, and now he must repair himself. Do you remember Ennard and how he escaped through the sewer? Well, Baby was ejected from Ennard and must piece herself back together, eventually turning herself into Scrap Baby. The rest of the animatronics inside of Ennard wear a Freddy mask as a disguise, now being known as Molten Freddy. Having discussed a lot of different characters, there's one that I've not spoke about a lot, Henry, William Afton's old friend whose daughter became the puppet. Despite all of his grief, Henry decides to step in to devise a plan to put it all to an end. He opened a new pizzeria under the Fazbear franchise name to gain the attraction of all the animatronics, Michael, and William Afton. Michael ends up getting hired for the security guard job, as he looks like his father at this moment in time. Henry creates an animatronic to capture the puppet, aka his daughter Emily. He calls the animatronic Lefty. Little by little, Michael ends up collecting every single one of the old animatronics into the facility, all going according to Henry's plan. On the night of all the animatronics being in the same building, we finally get to hear Henry as his plan comes to a finish.
Connection terminated. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Elizabeth, if you still even remember that name, but I'm afraid you've been misinformed. You are not here to receive a gift, nor have you been called here by the individual you assume, although you have indeed been called.
Henry's plan was to gather all the animatronics into one place, then burn them to the ground, freeing all the souls trapped inside of the suits. Henry told Michael that there was a way out for him, but he felt that Michael might want to stay where he is, as he wants to die with them as well. Henry then commits arson on the building, killing all the animatronics, himself, Michael, and of course William Afton. William's soul is assumed to be tortured forever by all of the souls that were trapped in the animatronics in the afterlife. We finally get a peaceful ending, with all loose ends tied up. Until the next game comes out. This is where another company takes control of the Five Nights at Freddy's games instead of Scott Cawthon, so there is quite a lot of plot holes from this point onwards, as the original creator stepped down. It's said that before William died in the fire, he uploaded himself virtually into a binary code, and when the Five Nights at Freddy's virtual experience was being developed, William's conscience entered the code, so he's now part of the virtual game, which was created to, quote, shed light on what happened at the original Five Nights at Freddy's locations. William can use his power to slowly take over people's bodies. William uses his power to take control of a volunteer called Vanessa. He uses her to create an alter ego called Vanny, which he can take control of as and when he pleases. Shortly after, a new Fazbear-themed mall is created, and go figure, 9 children go missing in the mall. The main cast of the mall are the Glam Rock series of animatronics: Chica, Freddy, Roxy, and Monty. Monty apparently killed Bonnie when he was under the control of William Afton. Glamrock Freddy ends up malfunctioning on the stage because he is unable to be controlled by William Afton. Freddy wakes up near the mall's closing time, only to spot a child called Gregory, some homeless kid who presumably thinks that living in a mall with robot animatronics is normal. Some people assume that Gregory is an animatronic because of how his vision glitches when he sees Vanny walking around the mall. But despite this, Freddy and Gregory work together to steal parts of other Glamrock animatronics to make Freddy stronger. To do this, they throw Chica into a trash compactor, they snap Monty into small pieces, and then they crash a go-kart into Roxy's face. They then end up exploring underneath the mall, only to find a replica restaurant of the one that Henry created to lure all of the animatronics together. In this replica location, they run into a creature called the Blob. This creature appears to have the souls of all of the animatronics attached to it, including William Afton. But what happened to him being dead? Anyway, William Afton wants to resume his favourite hobby, killing children, which is the reason why he wants to control all of the animatronics in the mall. After an epic final fight, Gregory and Freddy end up burning the entire complex to the ground, which hasn't worked yet, so I don't know why they thought it was a good idea to do this. But just as William is about to capture Freddy and Gregory, he's captured by the Blob to some other place that we don't know about. As you know it, the mall ends up getting demolished, and that's the story of Five Nights at Freddy's so far. We get a beautiful ending that is like the Pizzeria Simulator ending, with Gregory and Freddy overlooking a hill with a lot of corpses, and for this time for sure, all of the loose ends are tied together. Until the books in the Rune DLC get released.